Good afternoon. Only if you want to introduce myself, my name is Teresa Palotto and I'm a PhD student at the University of Padova. My tutor is Professor Paolo Lazzarini. My research activity can be summarized into two main topics. First one is the pedestrian assessment of weather joints based on local approaches, for example, density approach or strain energy density approach. And the second one is the analytical study of stress distribution due to different kinds of knowledge and torsion under elastic or elastic plastic condition. And today we speak only about this second topic due to the strict time I have to speak. And for the same reason, I won't give you all the analytical details, but only the final results. What about the elastic torsion? The main problem to be overcome is that it is inherently a three-dimensional problem. For example, Neuber uses the theory of the free harmonic function to solve it, which is a three-dimensional theory. So it is not possible to solve this problem using the analytical tools that are commonly used to solve different problems, such as the Dirichlet function or the Colosov-Muschieri-Svili approach. However, this problem can be easily overcome by noting that the out-of-plane displacement, which is called W, is an harmonic function. It is a solution of the Laplace equation. And by using this property, it is possible to write the shear stress component as a function of a single holomorphic function that is called H of Z. So this has been our starting point, and we have considered different kinds of notches by using different coordinate collinear system, so avoiding conformal mappings. The first kind of notch we consider is the semi-elliptical circumferential notch, and we use the elliptic transformation, which has been used, for example, also by Stevenson to solve the plane problems in the complex potential. The complex potential used is that hypothesis here, which has the property of guarantee a shear stress very far from the notch, which has a constant value, having a finite value. So by combining these two properties, it is possible also by imposing boundary conditions to find the final stress distribution. And here, this last term has been introduced a posteriori to account for the linear decrease of the nominal shear stress on the section due to torsion. Here we have some comparison with the finite element method along the notch edge or along some semi-elliptical path embracing the notch. The agreement is very good. The second kind of notch we consider is the hyperbolic notch, which is generated by transformation which is very similar to that adopted before, with the exception that here it is fixed the imaginary part of the transform variable and not the real part as before. And the complex function is very simple, but it has the property that very far from the notch, here in the gross section, the stress goes down to zero, and this is a necessary condition to guarantee that the nominal shear stress on the next section is assumed as a finite value. So again, by imposing boundary conditions, it is possible to obtain the final stress distribution, and again, the last term has been introduced to account for the linear decrease. A comparison with some finite element results along the notch edge, not bisector line, or along the notch edge, and again, the agreement was found very good. Finally, the last kind of notches we have considered under elasticity is that created by the transformation proposed by Neuber. Here Q is a real number that depends on the notch opening angle by that relationship. The potential is the same that has been used before, very similar, because it has the same property which is necessary for this kind of notch. And finally, the stress distribution is that shear stress components can be written as a function of maximum shear stress of the radial distance, and that is also a, let's say, an angular dependence, and again the dependence on the linear decrease. I think that this kind of notch is the most useful in practical application because the notch profile is very close to a U notch in the case of a parabolic notch, or to a blunt U notch in the case of an hyperbolic notch. And again, finally, some comparison with finite element results along the notch bisector line on the notch edge, showing again a very good agreement. Talking about elastic plastic analysis, It is important to say that by adopting a nonlinear relationship between stresses and strain, introduce a lot of difficulties in the analytical treatise of the problem, but however some of these analytical difficulties can be overcome, let's say, by using some mathematical techniques, for example the Hodogard transformation or the Shapini-Lagrange method. This last is useful only for a material with an elastic perfectly plastic behavior. And the Hodogard transformation is a very powerful technique by which, let's say, the physical coordinates x and y can be written as a function of stresses or strains. So we solve an inverse problem. The first kind of problem we have considered is a parabolic notch, a rounding notch under uniform antiplane shear stress in an element material which is elastic perfectly plastic. We will not show the analytical details, but only the most important results, I think. We found that the elastic plastic boundary is circular, has a circular shape like in the crack case, and the extension of the plastic zone head of the notch bisector line can be written in closed form by using that expression, and depends on the notch radius, the maximum elastic shear stress, the yield stress. Obviously, when here it is written as a function of the maximum shear stress, but it can be written also as a function of the generalized stress intensity factor, which is linked to the maximum shear stress at the notch tip. And in that case, if the notch radius tends to 0, we found the solution by Coulthard McClintock, the classical solution in the literature. Secondly, we have considered the same kind of notches, a parabolic notch, but in a material with a power law hardening in the Yale range. This is the simplified material law we use, and this is only the solution. The stress distribution can be written as a function of the maximum plastic shear stress of the notch radius, the radial distance, and there is also an angular function. That is the shape of the elastic plastic boundary, but I think that here you have a comparison with some finite element results showing again a good agreement. In this case, it was also difficult to perform finite element analysis because we use ANSYS and it is not possible to use harmonic elements with elastic plastic behavior, so it is necessary to use three-dimensional models, and the accuracy could be not too high as in plane models. However, by using the analytical frame, we can draw some main conclusions which in my opinion are very important. For example, under small scale yielding, it is possible to write the maximum plastic shear stress at the notch tip as a function of the elastic one. This is, I think, a very important result. And by using these results, it is possible also to rewrite or reconsider some classical solution in the notch mechanics. For example, Neubauer solution. The most strange thing is that we found something different from Neubauer solution with the addition of an additional coefficient depending on the hardening exponent. In my opinion, at the beginning I thought that this was very strange, but after that I decided that probably it was right. And the free reviewer of this paper strongly appreciate these results. Maybe I'll be also curious to have some comments about you on these results. The other very important method which is commonly used for rounding notches is the Hazard criterion proposed by Moski and Glinka. And in the second version of this criterion, Glinka proposed to use also a plastic coefficient to further increase the elastic value of the strain energy density. And this is exactly what we found. The plastic strain energy density at the top, at the notch tip, is greater than the elastic one, and there is a further coefficient agreement with Glinka. Only a few words about my work in progress and the future works. I'm working also about analytical expression for the notch stress intensity factor for rounding notched bars. Here you can find a comparison between the analytical solution, which is the solid line, and the markers are the finite element results, showing again a very good agreement. And also we are trying to extend the elastic solution, I told you before, also to U, and we save notches, only slightly changing the analytical frame. And again, there is some comparison with finite element results showing a good agreement. And finally, in the future, I think, and now at the moment, We work again on elastic plastic analysis, considering different kinds of notches, for example, considering the influence of the notch opening angle, or different kinds of materials. Here you can find a list of my publication, and my address, and the address of my professor. That's all.